Episode 231, the top 3 reasons people don't learn AI.
The primitive forms of artificial intelligence we already have proved very useful.
AI is a golden opportunity.
How do we ensure that this technology is regulated?
The long arc of technological history is now in an extraordinary new phase.
The AI 6 podcast with Joanne Sweeney.
Here are the top 3 reasons why people don't learn AI. Number 1, not enough time to learn it. Number 2, don't know how to create results with it. And number 3, it's moving so fast, I feel overwhelmed. If you can relate, keep listening. I might have some answers. Hello and welcome back to AI 6. The podcast that has been shortlisted for the All-Ireland Podcast Awards 2025 in the Business and Innovation category. I'm your host, Joanne Sweeney. I set up this podcast in February of this year. We're almost at 10,000 downloads. It's not bad for a niche podcast. We're broadcasting to the world and trying to get people more curious, more excited, and more competent in artificial intelligence because, my friends, it is going nowhere and we have to adapt. And I am here to help you. And so, talking about the reasons that people don't learn AI is why I'm here talking to you today. And I want to help you overcome those reasons if you can relate. So the first one, and it's the most common one for anyone who wants to or who needs to learn anything, I don't have enough time. But here's the truth. And if you've ever worked with me before, you will have heard me say this before. What you prioritize gets done. It's just not a priority for you. Last year, I committed to publishing a book on AI and starting a podcast on AI. I then prioritized it in my calendar, my work calendar for the podcast, and my personal calendar for the book, because I run a business and Monday to Friday I serve my clients, and in the evenings at weekends I was serving the book. And I should also admit, today is Sunday and I'm sitting in my podcast studio in my house in the west coast of Ireland recording this episode. So yes, it is eating into my personal time. But the bottom line is I committed to it and I make space for it, and I've made these a priority for me. It's the only way that I could really reposition myself and my business and my work in the age of AI, and to develop the skill set, the competency, the respect, the trust, the regard, was by putting in the hours. And so, if you don't have time, then you're not making it a priority. And when you make something a priority and you improve by 1% every day, that is a significant shift over the course of a year. Because what you're doing is building habit. And I'm a huge fan. And if you've heard me before, you will know I'm a huge fan of James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits. And if you're not subscribed to his 321 Thursday newsletter, why not? Time is lost in gaps between tasks. Time is lost procrastinating. Time is lost with paralysis. And this is one of the reasons why I set up this podcast, was to help you out of the AI starting blocks. Where do I start? Start listening to this podcast 6 minutes a day. It'll make you more curious, whet your appetite to learn more. And when you're listening to me, you can apply what you're hearing to your own life. Okay, reason 2. I don't know how to get results from it. I don't know how to leverage AI. I'm afraid of technology. So most people use AI like they might use Google. So let's say, for example, you're using ChatGPT and you put a query, a question into it. That's fine for direct answers, but it's not going to make any meaningful change into how you're using the capability of the technology. So what you've got to do is you've got to bring AI into your work, and not in a shadow AI way where you're using it on confidential proprietary information without guardrails. You need to apply the capability in real life tasks. That's when AI becomes real for you, that you can see the value of it. So what I want you to do over the next week is to pick one task that is on your desk. I want you to describe it by voicing it into ChatGPT. So use the app on your phone and tap the mic once, and then you're recording. And just voice into the task why the task is important, how you do it every week. What is the value of that task to your organization, to your role? What skills you have in completing that task. So you're bringing in all your years of experience, and talk about the process involved in completing that task to success. At the end of that, what I want you to do is ask ChatGPT, well, how can you help me complete this task to 100% success and act as my assistant or my collaborator? And then I want you to roll that task out with ChatGPT as your assistant. What you've got to do is to find use cases that make a meaningful difference because of AI. So what was the task before AI? What was the task result after AI? You want to complete it to 100% success, but where was the value? Was it time saved? Was it better creativity? Was it scaling it beyond maybe the department to an organization? You will decide, because you are the expert guiding the assistant. And then 3, the third reason, AI is moving too fast and I feel overwhelmed. My friends, as the author of a book on AI, as the host of a podcast on AI, as a practitioner of AI, and as a teacher of AI, I feel this all the time. But what I do not do is I do not pause, stall, or retreat. I lean in. And honestly, the truth is, this podcast was the greatest gift to me, because it means that my curiosity continues to build. I do research on the podcast every week. I write my notes, and then I sit here in my podcast studio on my high brown leather stool in front of my Shure mic, and I show up and I talk about AI. And what this is doing is distilling that knowledge, distilling my days of practice throughout the week, where I'm using the tools and learning and teaching clients, and it's embedding in the bones and the brain of me, and not just the bot going on a single tangent. So, yes, it's moving fast, but if we're continuously engaging in having AI conversations, practicing it in our work, and then choosing one source of trusted knowledge, like this podcast, for example, or reading my book, AI Playbook, that will take away the overwhelm. And just like any updates in the world of digital marketing or whatever industry you're in, there is an acknowledgement that things are moving. But when you have an operating system for learning, you want to develop the AI habit and you're putting it into practice, then the overwhelm will leave largely. But I guess there'll always be a little bit of it there because it is moving fast. So, with those 3 reasons, which one do you resonate with? Maybe it's 2 out of 3, or maybe it's all of them. But take my little bits of advice, carry out the tasks, and let me know how you're getting on. Because I don't think it's going to cut it that you're going to refuse to learn AI because of these excuses. You need to lean into AI and lean into your zone of genius and make the assistant work for you. Because remember, AI plus you is better. If you enjoyed this episode of AI 6, then please share it with a pro that you know. Please subscribe to the podcast and also leave a review, because it helps the podcast get found by more people. And if you want to read my book, AI Playbook, check out aimarketingplaybook.ie, or it's also on Amazon. That's it for today. I'll be back with more tomorrow.